I was just checking out the previous video when I created a YouTube video. It was so long ago, 31st March. Now it is June. I am back in my room. I wouldn't say old room, but my room, which I have grown up in, changed over to a studio, left the other room, the other side, the computer room, and now I'm here. As you can tell, you see little room tour. These tables have been moved around so many times, basically. First, it was upstairs in the attic, and then it was in the computer room, and now both of them are here. And the reason for that is that I start to realize that the only reason why I was in the other room, essentially I will wake up, I would do the work in my room, and essentially I won't leave my room throughout the day, because every work was on my computer and my computer was in my sleeping room, which meant I didn't really need to leave my room at all. It kind of got very isolating. That's why I decided to move on to the computer room instead. And because that is an asset, that room is a good place that I can actually separate my sleeping and my thing. It's something that I'm privileged to have. Now that my sister has not been back because she's overseas studying, I have been sleeping in her room, which meant the computer room became a bit redundant. I've been using my room for just, I did say that I want to make it into my creative sort of studio room type thing, but essentially I did not use it at all, and it just became a storeroom basically. But over time I decided, hey, let me just move back into this room, and this room can now be the creative room that I wanted it to be. And something that really has changed over my life was I am shooting a lot of videos, not my videos, but a lot of client videos, which means I am not at home at all. Therefore, I spend less time at the computer. I also have a few editors working with me on all the other projects, which means I'm not really working on the videos here. I'm only doing the managing and that sort of thing over here, which means I'm essentially not at home as much. So being in this room and doing the things, I felt it was a good time to come back into this room and just start to create and all that kind of thing. But yeah, that's what has been happening, and me moving back into this room. The first thing I need to explain is why I'm standing up and doing all these things. Over here, you can't really see it. Wait, let me show you guys. Over here, I have a little microphone pack, which is actually connected to the top of the camera. This is called time code for non-filmmaker people. It's basically like a clock that will sync everything together, rather than, when I'm filming something which is not, when it's separated from the camera, I need to clap and we use the sync to sync it up in post. I don't have to do that anymore. I decided to get this one for those video projects, and one because it's easy for me to move around, and also I found that the best time and the most natural for me is when I'm standing up and making videos and speaking, because it feels like there are people sitting around me and I feel that I am able to articulate myself as I should. I need to perform. As I'm standing up, I feel that I have a lot of blood, a lot of energy. It allows me to get things in, get things done, and that has how my life has changed. But we're talking about, sorry, I keep sweating a lot. Today's actually a really hot day, but it's gonna rain soon, which I think it's great. As I was documenting my life, I realized my life has changed completely. I'm at a new stage of my life, which I call the acceleration of life. What does that mean? A little recap on how I organize my life into sections to when I gain more awareness, when I gain more confidence, when I was more independent, and so on and so forth. It first started off with the time of loss. I was lost, not self-aware, I was living for other people. That changed when I said I wanted change, and that became the era of self, which the era of self was learning about myself, trying to understand my emotions and build my self-confidence and so on and so forth. That slowly became good, and then I decided that suddenly became good, and after that I decided that, hey, I kept doing the same routines, affirmations, journaling, so on and so forth to really grow myself, but it wasn't enough. I felt that I needed to go explore outside of myself, which became the exploration of life, the third section of my life. That is where I threw myself into things that I was afraid of, things I was very resistant to, something like money, something like relationships. Okay, not really much relationships, but relationships with the self and how to network with people. I just went outside my comfort zone to try as many things as possible. What did I learn from that? I started to realize that I have been canceling out a few things, you know, like saying that, I've tried that, it's not really me, put it aside. Essentially, all these things that I've been doing in the exploration of life has been now narrowed into the things that I really want to improve, grow upon, and that's where I'm at in life. I start to realize that it's similar to the era of self, but it's more optimized and it's constantly improving. There's nothing that stays the same. It's always changing to see how I can make things better. And that basically has been what I've been doing in my life since the last video. On top of that, I've been doing this thing called 75 Hard. If you can see these little tape over here, essentially it's all the days of what I've been, you know, going through. Currently I'm on day 62. It's almost ending. I'm like, wow, time actually flies really, really fast. I've also lost a bit of weight. I think 7 kg. It's not a lot, but I start to realize that, hey, it actually is possible to lose weight if I do the right things and things move like that. As you can tell, the energy is really, really different now. I am at a stage of my life where I start to accelerate so much. Exercise, sleep, repeat, to go kind of thing, which kind of made me, I wasn't really good with my time management in terms of when do I actually get to create videos like this, which is why over time, I have sort of created the time to be able to do this once again, which brings us to the current day situation where, you know, I am sort of like ending the challenge. I am sort of like learning from my mistakes with the clients that I've made in my business, where we are going with the business and how we're sort of like tweaking it to going forward. And also in my own personal life, how I am, you know, getting more challenges, knocking off more challenges than whatever I already planned for the year and so on and so forth, which gets me so excited because as I was meeting all these people, I start to realize that we kind of think differently. When I was in the exploration of life, in the era of self, I always had this mentality that, you know, whatever I was thinking was the sort of like what I assumed was the only thing that other people was thinking too. For example, how people thought of money, how people thought of scheduling, how people thought of optimizing their life, how people live their lives, so on and so forth. But I started to realize something, that not everyone lives the same life. And that's one of the biggest things that really just cracked my brain. I started to realize that I have been sharing more with the people I'm meeting and giving them ideas and essentially disseminating the things that I learned out to different people. And that's when I thought, hey, I have this channel, therefore I can actually teach people these things. Not only just teach people these things, but also document the process of me going through all of these things, which I have not been doing. Because, you know, time management and stuff. But yeah, I was thinking that, hey, I have this channel and I can finally decide that I can come back and create for these kind of people. TLDR, I'm back creating videos and I start to realize why I create. The reason why I create is to help someone to become the best version of themselves. That will be you, to become the best version of yourselves. With whatever is going on in my life, I feel that I can share with you what I've been doing and hopefully it will help you to become the best version of yourself. That's essentially it. Everything that I create is around that concept, and I find that it's quite easy for me to just make according to that. Whether it is high quality in its video quality or quality in its value that it will elevate someone's life, I feel that I'm still giving back, that I can document the process of me being able to look back at whatever I lived through and we grow together. That is how I have come to this conclusion of like, I'm ready to create. I'm ready to come out and do the thing that I wanted to do for a very long time, and now I can do it because I feel the time, the energy that I have, everything is just falling into place. Everything is being very, very tough, which means it's the best time to grow. It's the best time to get things done. So yeah, this is why I'm here. This is why I'm back. This is why I have been gone for a while. That's enough blabbering for me. Just to tell you guys, just a little update about my life. That's what this video is for. And currently training for a 21 km marathon. Currently going to finish 75 hard. Currently finishing off some of my major client projects, which means I got a lot of time to create right now, which means there's no more excuses to stop creating and that kind of thing. I now have a big goal to help everyone become the best version of themselves, which means a lot of the stuff I'm going to create going forward will be revolving around that. No, I think I should stop adding on things. That is the things that are coming. We're going to create. This is where we're going. We're going to accelerate, focus on things that we are very working towards the future for, doubling down on that. Very exciting. That's all I have to say for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. My name is NickyAdopt and I hope to see you guys on the next adventure. Goodbye.